Let's start with the analysis. So AUDJPY, we can't trade again because, of course, the price is, we are already in the trade and it's moving nice. I have a new target now. I have drawn this trend line. We have one, two, three, many more touches. And the upper side, the target is this. On the daily time frame, of course, it might take maybe the whole week or maybe more than the current week. So after the target reaches the original one, the 1:3, I'll start moving this stop loss on these lines. But I'm expecting a 1:6 now. If you are also in this trade, make sure when the market opens on Monday, you update the target. We'll trail this stop loss together. The main thing is 4 hour time frame. We can either move on these lines to trail stop loss, or I'll start using 4 hour EMA with some distance to cover my stop loss. And hopefully it will eventually, hit 1:6. If it does, our 100 to $10,000 challenge will be deeper. I'll be locking around $2,000 on that account. Next, GBP CAD. I was thinking of taking this trade again, but then I saw this weekly time frame and it's touching the EMA. You can see right here, weekly time frame is touching the EMA. At this point in history, what has happened that weekly EMA price touches and moves up. And this definitely is some kind of support zone, right? So once it touches, it goes up, comes back, touches again, and then it goes up, comes back, and then moves up. Right here, touches, breaks the high, comes back, retest again. So there is definitely a lot of consolidation right here at this point. So this exactly is not comparable. We'll see it here. If we have a history like that, there is a lot of touches, moves up. So anyway, it's not a good area to trade from again. No, the trade might easily convert to the bullish side. We can instead use support and resistance to think about a trade where we enter to the bullish side after the side. When the week opens, it might just go down and then come back up again on the weekly close. So we would like to trade on a pair on a direction where this is bullish now because it's very clear weekly EMA is there, and until a candle closes below, we don't know what's going to happen. So I would rather not take a trade here on the downside anymore because this support is already used and the price is reacting. And the daily time frame seems like there's a lot of consolidation around this zone, right? Whenever the price comes around this area, at this point, there's some consolidation. At this point, there's some consolidation, right? So here we don't see that, but here I can see the price might consolidate again. And looking at this pair would be wasting a lot of time. So I'm not interested in GBP CAD again. The price eventually, what I was telling you yesterday about the liquidity levels, that these levels are liquidity levels, that has come true. You can see the price took liquidity again and moved down. So that was my reason of putting a huge stop loss. Now I'll just remove this, move this down. Let's look at XAUUSD. So now XAUUSD is doing what we wanted in the past week. You can see the price is moving up. I want a retest, of course, but the candles have become huge again. In the last two 4 hour candles, this has become huge, and this is just because of the Supreme Court decision from US about Trump tariffs. So the price, the gold looks bullish, and we might not get an entry at this point because if the market stays bullish till tomorrow, there's no bad news for gold. The price might just open with a gap up. It might open with a gap up, and at this point, what I would look for is some structures again. I can't just enter without structures because then I wouldn't know where to put stop loss. But we have history right here. And history tells us this area is the weak zone. This area is the weak zone. This area is the weak zone. From where it might take liquidity. When the price moved up, this is the weak zone, right? This is the liquidity area. But we don't have too much history about this, so we can't be so sure. So instead, what we'll do is we'll wait for price to create structures. It's possible that we don't get this trade again. Price might just open up right here and continue moving up. So the analysis is same. I want the price to go up, close above, retest this area, and then move up. So also to understand this, I'll tell you this. A lot of times what happens is people tell you that you should trade in a London or a New York session, right? The problem with this statement is pairs like gold, AUDJPY, EURUSD, all these pairs, they work differently. They work in a way where you can see the JPY is an Asian country, right? So in as an Asian country, the news comes during the Asian session. And when the fundamentals and all the institutions open up during Asian session, that means pair like AUDJPY can easily move at a huge distance during the Asian session. So you can't just look for entry on AUDJPY and all this pair during London session and New York session. So now gold as well. Gold is something which is traded by all the countries. Definitely USD is the pair we are trading with on right here. But XAU is just gold, right? So gold is not limited to US. It's available to all for all the countries. So now gold can move huge distance in all the sessions. Asian session, London session, New York session, any session you call it, it's going to it can show really great momentum. So you can't say that gold will only take entry around London or New York. Of course, big money comes around this time, but momentum is a different thing where you'll see big candles. Big candles is Euro JPY. All this by Euro is of course later in the day, but JPY at the end is again start of the session. So you can easily trade Euro JPY all this pair at the start of the session. XAU USD, XAG USD, oils, commodities, all this stuff can be traded in Asian session. So that's why sometimes when I see that a pair is very much ready, I stay awake on Monday morning. I don't sleep at all until I see if it is making some move. When I see the market opens around 4:30 a.m. IST in India, the market moves up. Sometimes there's a gap, sometimes I get support, and that's where maybe around 6:30, 7:30 a.m. I get entries. So I don't mind keeping myself up if I'm getting a trade. I hope this is clear. Sessions, you have to be aware that if you're trading Euro USD, then you can say London and New York session is the right time to trade. But JPY pairs, commodities, those are different stories. You can't just rely upon London and New York for that because you'll definitely miss a lot of entries if you don't trade Asian session. Now this is clear. 4-hour candle close above the zone to enter need structure for stop loss. It's same as what we wanted last week. Euro JPY, the price did what I wanted, but you can see it first went bearish. Let's see the 4-hour time frame. It actually became bullish at this point. It became bullish, then became bearish. So I was least interested when this momentum happened because I wanted a move like this. But eventually price came up till here, and I'm seeing that JPY is still bearish. So I'm not so much interested in this at this point, but we'll do a different kind of analysis right now on this pair. The weekly says it's bearish, right? Weekly is bearish, daily is bearish, and the daily candles are not as huge as these candles. I can also see that EMA is getting resisted. We are getting some kind of confirmation at this point, right? The EMA is present. Now let's see what happens when price breaks below the EMA after a trend. All right, this is a trend and price moved down. So he right here it didn't retest at all. Here it did. When it did, it moved up. Here it did. Very soon it moved up. The EMA is good if you're trading bullish, but if it is retesting from the bearish side, I can see it's not giving me a good vibe to short this. So instead, what we can do is we'll now look for support and resistance, right? Now, this is, of course, the resistance at this point. The daily is rejecting from this area. Now let's move down to better areas. Daily, there is nothing more I can come up with. 4 hour time frame. All right. I can see this is already marked and this is a good resistance and support at this point. When price moves up, it did this and moved up. 4 hour EMA is crossed. So 4 hour EMA is telling definitely that we can enter bullish trade at this point. The problem is if I take a trade from around this area, there's a huge chance that price will go above this and then retest this level to continue moving up, right? So I would rather enter a trade where I see that momentum. I want the price to come up to this, retest this level, and if it is not retesting, it's fine, but it has to go up. This is the main price action. It has to go up. It has to retest around this level and then continue momentum. Once it does that, I'm ready to enter. Right? So this might happen this week. It might not. We're not sure. It's not a big thing to expect price to do. It can easily be done by Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, it can be ready unless it starts consolidating like this around this level. So Tuesday, Wednesday, if price does this, I'm definitely interested to buy. And this trend line mean nothing to me. All right. We'll leave it there for now, but my target is going to be around this level because I see some resistance at this point, and then there is a second resistance right here. We'll target around this level. We'll see. I'll definitely update the target. There's no other big resistance around this level, so we can easily secure a good risk to reward. I hope this is clear. How we are trading this, we can clearly see weekly time frame is bearish, daily time frame is bearish. So this tells us a different story, but EMA is also telling us a different story right here, that price goes down, and fundamentals is also a different. You can see USDJPY, all these pairs have actually moved up in the recent days, and it's also doing something similar. It's also doing something similar. But AUDJPY, I am bullish, so I'm expecting price to go up. I don't have a reason. And if price is actually doing structures the way I expect, I don't need to do anything else. EURUSD, that's the story I'm looking for. And if it does, I'll enter. Let's look at USD CAD now. All right. So USD CAD, I expected price to go down, but it didn't. And it's still bearish. The daily time frame is bearish. Weekly time frame is bearish again. Very clear. It's bearish. Now, this is the low. This is the lower low. This is the lower high. This is the lower low. So weekly time frame is actually bullish because first the price went one, then okay, this was the low. Price moved up. Second, Yeah. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Even though, I don't like this, I like clear structures. So this doesn't matter to me so much. When there is structures like this, which, one candle is because of the gaps, you see different history. You can definitely use that, but all in all, what do you expect that this small structure is actually doing something major? No. It's just one candle, a gap down where price opened low and then moved up is not going to do much. So daily is definitely bullish, but the global swings are telling me the price is bearish. So we'll look at what kind of trades we can take. So right here, it's very clear. Now let's remove some of these lines. It's a little confusing. All right. All right. Great. So from the history, you can see this. The price when going up from here, from this level, it goes up, it is retesting this level and then coming down and then moving up, right? At this point, it moved up, it went a little ahead in price action, but eventually it came down to move up. Now there's more history. Price coming up, coming down, and then moving up again. Okay, okay. So recent history is definitely telling me this, that around this level, the price can easily start going down. And to see that happen, what should we expect from price? Let's see what price has done around these levels. Let's cut this and start new, select bar. Okay, let's go to 4 hour time frame. All right, 4 hour price became bullish, bearish, and then there's a wick right here and it continued down, right? Now you right here bullish, bearish at this point, and then a structure continued down. This looks actually good to me because I can see there's a strong candle right here. You could have easily put a stop loss around this level and then targeted something. But this wick at any point could have moved you out. So managing a trade is a better option at this point. Next, all right, we are seeing great structure around this level again. There's some good structure. This could have been a very easy trade to sell from here. Again, easy to sell from here, but the price became bearish around this level. All right. So these structures are not so useful because the higher low and higher high is very different. It's huge. And to see that turn is a difficult situation. At this point, we can clearly see price did this high, and then price moved down, creating a lower low, changing structure from right this point. So 4 hour EMA can definitely help us enter this trade. I can clearly see that when it's changing to bearish, it's a good place to enter to short. Now let's move to present. So that is what I'll expect. I want to see price coming up, rejecting this level, turning bearish on the 4 hour, or maybe at this point the EMA is right here. I will decide an entry where I see good structure. Else, this is the basic thing I want, and we'll target this. The stop loss will be around this level, a small stop loss, and the reward. Stop loss should contain 4 hour EMA. I hope I'm making sense to you guys that how I'm analyzing this. It's very easy. All I'm doing is I'm looking at history, what price does around this level, and I'm trying to expect this exact same thing again. I'm not looking for something extraordinary. I'm seeing how the price reacts around this level, and that is it. So we have actually USD, Euro JPY, USD CAD now. Okay, yeah. Three pairs already there for us. Let's look at USD CHF. So it was a right decision. Last Saturday, we didn't look for any entry around this price because you can see there's nothing great going on right here. It's very difficult to analyze this. Very difficult to analyze this, mainly because there are no structures. Now USD JPY, like can you see this? This point and this point. It's very similar. The price moved up. Of course, it took a lot of time right here. But the price moved up around this level, rejected to this level, exact same level, and right now we have EMA as well, right? Now price continued moving up from this point. It has a close above the resistance. Now, right here, what we see is price coming down and moving up. And we can definitely see some kind of momentum till here around this level. Or maybe let's target this point itself. So, of course, we are looking for a bullish trade. So, weekly is saying that I'm bearish. Daily might also say we are bearish. Let's see what the structures say. All right. Daily is bearish from year to year. Very clear. But the history tells us that the price has already done something very similar right here. And it can definitely do that again because price is very similar right here. Going up from bottom, going up, first attempt, there's a rejection, and then continuing up. So let's see if we can find more levels. Actually, we don't need to find any more levels. All we need is price. Let's see if we have some liquidity levels around this area. Daily time frame. Right now, the price is rejecting the daily EMA. And that's completely okay. Price rejecting daily EMA. Do we have any liquidity levels? We have one liquidity level right here. You can see the price moved up, rejected from exact same point twice. And right here as well, you can see there's a rejection. All right. Let's mark this level so that we know when we enter trade, we need to make sure that price has done this. Price takes liquidity. If it doesn't, it keeps moving up. That's completely fine. But we rely on history. Sorry, liquidity. I guess I already had a template of this. No, I don't. Let's add that. All right. So I hope this is clear. You can clearly see I'm not just making this up. You can see the price from the exact level has rejected multiple times. One, two, three, four. And we can also see this that once it rejected this and the next time it came up, it didn't reject from this level. Next time it came up, it didn't reject from this level, right? So what we want from price is again, do something similar. do something similar, go up, go up, reject, come down, and then move up. I hope I'm making sense. Once price does this, it starts rejecting the bottom area. Maybe it might not come all the way down. It might start rejecting. Hold on. Yeah. It might start rejecting from the daily EMA itself, but we'll make a decision. We'll see at the different time frames, 4 hour time frames, and see what we can do at this point. Because we might see continuation from the daily EMA. If we see a touch and a candle close around this level on the daily EMA, then right after that, we'll look for entries. Or we rely on this structure. There are two ways to do this. Let's set text. Let price hit liquidity level. Find support and then look for entries based on history. Right, so that is one option. Now, same story, but price can continue moving up from daily EMA after liquidity is hit. All right, I hope this makes sense. Let the daily candle close after daily EMA is hit. Daily EMA rejection. Only then look for entry. I hope this makes sense why I'm saying this. Let the daily candle close after the daily EMA rejection, because this tells us that if EMA is touched and the price closes above the EMA, this tells us that now price can easily continue going up. If we don't wait for that, we see that on the 4 hour time frame, the price has came around daily EMA and now it's going up. It might just be faking out. It might again continue going down because the daily candle has not closed. So we need to make sure that daily candle closes above the EMA when it touches. That's when this second option is active. All right, we have USDJPY as well. Now there's too much JPY for us. Let's look at, we already have USD CAD. Let's not do USD CAD. Let's do Euro USD. Euro USD might show very good momentum this week because there's a news on USD, right? A lot of tariffs has been removed and US is now doing 10% tariffs only. So that means all the tariffs which Trump had levied will go for a case of refund to all the countries. That also means USD will go down and Euro will go up. All the other pairs against USD. So weekly, we clearly see a bullish structure. Okay, one. Okay. It's almost, this is higher low and slightly it has closed up, but I can clearly see this structure like this, that the price is coming to a resistance, which is also now support. At this point, it's support and it might continue going up. Price had a bearish momentum the whole week, but now it might change next week. And this is a good daily support resistance area. On the weekly time frame, it has taken liquidity around this levels. You can see now it can continue going up like this one, where price came down and moved up. The fundamentals are with us unless tomorrow Trump comes up and speaks something. So 4 hour is so I'll show you this. This is one way more of trading. This I have been using a lot in my other videos on YouTube. You'll find this strategy. This is a strategy which I've developed. So what I do is I find local. We definitely have a a higher time frame support resistance. But now we right here we get a local support resistance where if the price breaks this level, we might look for entry. And I want a price action like this to happen. If there is a price action like this where there is a touch right here, there's a touch right here, there's a touch right here, there is three touches and four touches right here. So this tells us that this is a good resistance point. Now, because of this line, that also means price can come up and reject, right? Price can come up and reject. But if we see a candle close above this level, that means it's ready for entry. That means now we have very high odds of price moving up, right? From here, it's very easy to price continue going up. It will start retesting this level. That means it will be very hard for the price to come and hit a stop loss because now we have multiple levels of support. I hope I'm making sense. You can see there's touch, and at this point, if price comes to this level, that also means 4-hour time frame will be bullish. 4-hour time frame will become bullish, and if it is rejecting this level, it is retesting, then definitely we'll have a better stop loss, a tighter stop loss at this point. And then if it continues going up, any candle close above, we are ready for entry. I hope this makes sense. Even if there is a gap up like this at this point, we'll still look for a retest around this level. And after that rejection, we'll try to put a stop loss after the candle close. Now, this is a very easy trade. We have not been trading Euro USD for a very long time, but now finally it's looking good. I hope this makes sense. I hope this is clear. We have a lot of pairs, one, two, three, four, five. So we don't need to go and do more. Do you have any questions on this? I've been trying to explain everything I'm doing right here, why I'm taking that trade in the particular direction. I'm keeping it very straightforward so that you guys also understand. Do you have any questions? Please ask now, or we are done with the session. I'll see you guys on Monday. You can definitely take screenshots. I'll just go one by one. Let's start with the AUDJPY. There's no analysis, but you need to put targets. Take the screenshot. Next, XAUUSD. Take a screenshot. Next, EURUSD. Just make it look clean. All right. Take the screenshot now. Next, USD CAD. All right. Take the screenshot. Next, USDJPY. I'll just try to put the text in a nice way. All right. Oh, I hope this is readable now. Take the screenshot, please. Next, Euro USD. I'll also add this. Now, just remember this price definitely doesn't need exactly, to reject from this level. It's fine if it doesn't reject and it starts continue moving up. We'll have a lot of stuff with us. We'll have EMA like this. You can see in the recent history, the 4-hour EMA is a good support and resistance. So if price breaks above this level, we can have a stop loss below the EMA of 4-hour time frame. So that's enough for us. Now you can take a screenshot. All right. Now enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.